You are about to discover an extremely rare secret that most men will never know about attracting women. I assure you that by the time you finish watching this video, you will know exactly how to talk to women, how to enter their minds, and how to make them eagerly anticipate the next time they see or hear from you. This is you, and this is the girl you'll be talking to. What should you say to her? What should you talk about? And how can you make the conversation flow smoothly? The first mistake you can make when you start talking to a girl is to overthink the topic of the conversation or how you will talk. Before diving into the details, I want you to first change your perspective on this. I want you to change your inner mindset when talking to a girl. You need to remember that she is just a human being. No more. Don't put her on a pedestal just because she is attractive. I know this might sound superficial and like something you've heard before, but it's essential to understand it from now on. Every time you talk to a beautiful girl, I want you to remember me and tell yourself she's just a human being. The second thing I want you to realize is that you need to see yourself in a higher position while she is in a lower position. Don't worry, I will explain how to do this later. But for now, just listen. When you talk to a girl, her subconscious mind, the instinct that governs love, is searching for the right man. She will assess you to see if you are the right guy for her or not. If you have watched all the videos in this series on how to attract women, you know that women are emotional creatures who are drawn to what they feel. Instead of logic, they see something, feel something, and respond to that feeling. Since their actions are based on emotions, they can't control who they are attracted to or who they are not. Attraction is an unconscious response in women to certain behaviors that men display. So, to trigger attraction, you need to integrate these behaviors into your personality. But before we dive into the details, let me clarify some facts. First, women don't control who they are attracted to. Second, women don't control who they are not attracted to. This means that attraction happens on an unconscious level and women cannot control it. Now I want you to imagine this part of a woman's unconscious mind as a radar. When you start talking to her, the radar lights up and starts scanning you to see if you are a match for her or not. This radar is separate from her conscious mind, meaning that if the radar wants, her conscious mind cannot override it. This is why many women end up falling for the same bad guy who treats them poorly. Their logical mind keeps telling them that they've made the same mistake and will be treated badly again, but because they are biologically programmed to think emotionally, and because the radar is separate from their logical minds, they can't control it. Before we move on, I want you to take this fact with you. Every girl in the world, since the moment she is born, has one main goal in life: to find the right man for her. I know this isn't the conventional talk you hear from society, but it is the biological truth. A woman could be a scientist or an astronaut at NASA, but even then, her ultimate goal remains to find the right man for her. And this right man is not someone she chooses consciously. Her radar inside her is the one searching for him and choosing him. So, from now on, every time you talk to a girl, know that this radar inside her is scanning you to see if you're right for her. This radar is looking for many things in you, and one of the most important is whether you appear better than her or if she is better than you. The way it determines this is by observing how you interact with her, whether you treat her in a way that shows you see yourself as better than her, or if you treat her as though she is better than you. If you treat her in a way that shows you see yourself as better than her, the radar will understand that you are superior to her, and then the girl will be yours. I know this may sound confusing, and it seems complex, but trust me, by the end of this video, you will understand everything, and you'll know how to make any girl think about you all day long after your conversation, without even knowing why she did that. So, what should you do and what should you say? To make the radar understand that you see yourself as better than her. Let's start with something simple that many people ignore: body language. If you've tried to research body language, you'll find that some say you should keep your head held high, others say don't put your hands in your pockets, and others say sit up straight. The first thing I want you to do now is forget all of that. It's just nonsense and will not help you at all. There are 3 points I want you to focus on regarding body language. The first common mistake many men make is leaning toward the girl while talking. This often makes her lose interest because you are unconsciously signaling that you are too interested in her. Instead, make it a habit to talk to her while leaning back. This is the first point. The second point is to start almost leaving when you say something she disagrees with. For example, if the girl says, "I'm not really interested," you can reply with, "I know, maybe I'm too hard for you," and then start leaving while saying that. You will likely see her lean towards you or try to stop you with a quick comment. Attractive girls are not used to men walking away like this. They are usually used to being chased. So, walking away will show high value and make her automatically more attracted to you. The third and most important body language tip I want you to be aware of throughout your life is this. I'll give you an example to help you understand. Imagine yourself sitting next to an important person, someone of high status. How would you sit? You'd probably try to appear respectful and wouldn't sit comfortably. You'd smile and laugh on your own to please them. But now, imagine yourself sitting next to a friend you've known for 10 years, or sitting next to your brother. How would your body language be? You probably wouldn't care about how you sit at all. You might stretch your legs out or lean back and talk comfortably with them. You wouldn't care if they are sitting next to you or not. So, when two people sit and talk, the person with higher value is the one who sits comfortably and doesn't care about the person sitting next to them. This is the mentality I want you to adopt. When you talk to a girl, the first thing I want you to do is sit comfortably in a position that feels right for you and not worry about how she sees you. Forget the idea of thinking about how to sit. Now, we've covered body language. Let's move on to the conversation. When you talk to a woman, 80% of the conversation should be about the girl and her personality, 80% about the environment around you or anything else, and 20% about you. Don't worry, I'll explain everything in detail. But before we continue, don't forget to like the video. We want to reach 350 likes. Why 50% about the girl and only 20% about you? Because in any conversation between two people, the person who needs approval from the other is the one who talks a lot about themselves. Imagine you're in a job interview. The conversation will be about you, your personality, and your abilities, not about the person interviewing you, because you are the one who needs the job, and they are the ones in control. The same applies to your conversations with women. The person who talks too much about themselves is the one who needs approval. That's why you should talk more about the girl than you talk about yourself. Let's start with the first thing, talking about her. How do you do that? I've already explained the listening technique like a psychotherapist in a previous video. But to summarize, the conversation should be about the girl, what she likes, what she dislikes, how she spent her childhood, how she plans her life, her dreams, what she loves to do in her spare time, what she sees as positive about herself, and what she sees as negative. I think you get the idea. As for the 30% of the conversation, it should be about the environment around you or anything else. At this point, I want you to stay aware of one thing. Don't think about what you should say. Whatever comes to your mind, say it. Imagine you're sitting next to a friend you've known for 10 years. Talk about anything and everything. It's okay to say something silly. The important thing is not to appear like you're trying to say something not silly. Just keep talking. Don't stick to one topic, and don't try to be serious or discuss important topics. By the way, I've reached this point in the video. And I want to tell you that I've put an ebook in the description containing psychological techniques that are almost forbidden, which will make attractive women irresistibly drawn to you, regardless of your age, looks, or bank account. They will become addicted to you. You'll find the link in the description. Anyway. During the 30% of the conversation, keep playing and talking about anything that crosses your mind. If you get into an argument about a particular topic, don't get angry or argue to prove your point. Remember what I told you earlier. You don't need anything from her, and you don't need her approval. You don't need to agree with her all the time. Now, let's talk about the 20% when you talk about yourself. Never try to show her that you are amazing. Don't talk about your achievements or adventures. Let me give you a golden piece of advice. When you talk about yourself, always try to laugh at yourself a little. When you tell a story about yourself, try to tell one that makes you look silly or crazy, not one that makes you look great. This way, you will see that you don't need her approval and you don't need to impress her. Subscribe to Enigma Thought and be part of the journey.